Just about time to rock as toe gets ready to meet leather. And off we go from Jacksonville.
Taken in at the 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
They'll start the drive with Harris. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Their first play from scrimmage is a pickup of 13. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect. With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
We'll see what they have drawn up here a little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
On third down, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, first and 10.
At their own 18.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. He'll get this out to the flat for ETN.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
This defense for the Steelers, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Lawrence giving to ETN here on the option.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Now Lawrence. Looking left side, and it's complete. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a second down here.
Their first possession of the game, and they're already going after double coverage.
That's a nice completion that can set the tone for things to come if they're able to keep finding ways to beat what the defense is throwing at them. They look like they're confident that they can get it done.
On second down, a run with ETN. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
The Jaguars had 6 and 9 to start play. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Lawrence's throw into the hands of Kirk. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be second down.
On the counter, Etienne.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Lawrence. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Now Austin. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
2 things to watch. First, his strength and being able to break out that initial contact. But at his size, once you slow his momentum, it's hard for him to get it started again and end up tackling him behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll run again with Harris. And this looks a lot like the last play. Behind the line of scrimmage, he's tackled for the 2nd straight go-around. Great job by this Jacksonville D.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll let it fly for Austin. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
On 2nd and 7,
Lawrence. He'll get this off to Etienne.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
On 3rd down, Lawrence forced out to his left.
And looking for Kirk, but this pass is intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he'll take this one down to the 36.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. We're scoreless after 1. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Wilson. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. Got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Oh, it's tipped, but he still makes the adjustment. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Irv Smith Jr. hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. He hasn't missed an extra point all season, and he won't miss this one either, and it's 7-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Take it in at the 3. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
Here's Lawrence to throw. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties. And he's able to knock that one away.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion left. On 2nd and 10, Lawrence. The pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down of a sack.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him, but even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now Lawrence on 3rd and long.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Here's Jordan Stout now.
Here's Austin.
Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. 1st down, and they go back to Harris. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down. That fits the bill.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
And we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit, but how about guys who are maulers? Because that's what you want in short yardage situations, and we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
65 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this 1st half.
Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down. Run with Harris out of the shotgun. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Throw left side complete. That's Smith. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. They'll try the right side with Harris. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Harris running straight ahead. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Throw left side, going to be taken in by Harris. Touchdown! Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes.
And the Steelers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Take it in at the 3. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the Steelers are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are, positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. On the delay, here's Harris. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Hey, 0-0-0.
Throwing is Wilson. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Josh Allen, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks, got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
On is Presley Harvin now as he'll send this one away.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That's taken on the 25. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find.
Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence.
Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick.
And the Steelers are going to get it back here just past the 35. Well, Charles, you were so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now alongside Charles Davis, operating gun, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Here's Lawrence. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. That's pulled in at the 32. Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7, though, on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll start on the ground with Harris.
To the 43, second down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They run again with Harris. And he's got some space here. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6.
154 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers.
Najee Harris,
his 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season.
And the Steelers have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and that makes the score 21-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
From the 31,
Lawrence. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Lawrence will throw. And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And no return on this one as that kicks out of bounds, so they'll start just outside of their own 30-yard line. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now here's another carry for Harris. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw brought in by Austin. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
189 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown.
Najee Harris
with career touchdown number 91. He joins a group that includes Tony Dorsett and Isaac Bruce, among others, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 28-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down.
There's a nice pickup right there. And after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. This is caught. It's Kirk. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Lawrence running right on the option. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
On 2nd and 11 now. Lawrence. He'll drop this one off with Etienne. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll run with Etienne. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Well, that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And I mean, you're at the point here, third quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Here we go, set.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch. Back now in Jacksonville. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Let's go now.
Gets it out quickly here to the left flank. And he is not going to be able to get away as they swarm him for a loss shy of the goal line. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone. And this shutout is going to continue as the defense holds again. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food, because that is something that you and I
we
enjoy.
share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
My goodness, 232 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Second down, back to Edwards-Helaire.
And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10.
Here we go, here we go.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. He's got a man, complete.
And he steps out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35.
It's a big play for the Jaguars. 43 yards.
Throwing now, Lawrence on 1st down.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack.
And the Steelers are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
That interception may be the exclamation mark on what really all around has been a good performance.
A fantastic performance. They will enjoy film session.
Their grade should be very good on this one. And I think the next time the offense gets the ball, I just think about running it and getting the clock done and getting the heck out of here.
And by the way, semantics here, but before the grammar police come after me, I think it's exclamation point, not mark, right?
You're asking me? Seriously?
Yeah, you're smarter than me. Everybody knows that.
Listen, I go with what you say, my man.
On second down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
On third down, here's Harris. And and now off to the races down the right side. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Extra point now by Boswell. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up second down.
Ready, set.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up second and 5 at the 27-yard line.
Now Lawrence to throw. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
To throw again on second down. Lawrence. Open man is Kirk, complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 37. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Lawrence going to throw again. Buying time to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
2nd and 10 now. It's Lawrence. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And they take a knee. And they'll indeed take a knee. And they will take a knee here. for the winning team here, Charles. That's about as big and clean of a win